steal, or cheat from its very own citizens. Unfortunately today, America's good faith has been abused by others, often foreigners who seek to harm, rob, and cheat America. Through my efforts, I've exposed billions of dollars of fraud and helped save America hundreds of billions for years to come. When we talk about fraud, we are talking about money that is being stolen from hardworking, law-abiding, tax-paying citizens. This issue has nothing to do with political parties. No dollar says Republican or Democrat on it.
Put the fucking wheels up, man.
See it? That's the plane taking off right now. Go after it.
Put the wheels up.
If you get close enough to the back of the plane, you can remotely open the door to our signal box.
Plane ain't gonna never go up there. You don't put them wheels down. I mean up.
The fraud was so obvious that the fraudster weren't even trying to hide anything. The squawky Leering Center was born, and that video has become one of the most consequential videos in American history by the amount of legislation it has created. Since posting it, over 30 bills have been created and introduced in Congress regarding fraud. A new fraud task force has been created, and the Treasury is working on a new system to stop fraud at unprecedented levels. I hope to ignite a war on fraud across the country. People often wonder how come this fraud became so big and how come it became so rampant. The reason is because no one actually ever really looked into it. When Elon Musk offered that help by creating those, people burned his factories, bombed his cars, and politicians even celebrated his company's stock going down. Elon was right when he said the fraudsters complained the loudest. By exposing the fraud, I actually also exposed the politicians and media who worked for years to cover it up. Governor Tim Walz labeled my work as white supremacy and called me a far-right and neutral conspiracy theorist. Meanwhile, he dropped out of re-election, and he even said he's ended his political career. Now, the highest government-funded daycare in Minnesota has pleaded guilty to daycare fraud, and the largest office in American history has been exposed. Whereas Tim Walz it just so happens that over 80% of the fraud committed in Minnesota is by the smaller population. After Minnesota, I exposed widespread fraud in California through the daycare and hospice community, where an impossible 1/3 of Americans on hospice care were set to die in Los Angeles. The next day, the governor, Gavin Newsom, posted an AI-generated image of myself trying to mock and discredit my work. Only days later, he and the Attorney General both tried to take credit for exposing the fraud. Now the Attorney General's wife has created a bill that would make it criminal to expose fraud. The Stop Nincke Surely Act, also known as AB 2624, will help fraudsters cover up their crimes and prevent themselves from being exposed specifically in immigrant communities. Politicians often use immigrant communities to commit fraud. Why would they allow this to happen? In California, Medi-Cal, their Medicaid program, has now more than doubled from $180 billion in 2022 to a proposed $222 billion, while enrollment has only rose by less than 1%. The system is filled with bad actors and fraudsters. In New York City, government-funded adult daycare paid for elderly Koreans and Chinese to play ping pong and do Tai Chi at the taxpayers' expense. An impossible number of patients are registered, and those patients receive kickbacks for attending and signing up their friends. Over $2 billion gone to these fraudsters at the taxpayers' expense. And I'm just one person in the work of many people. If the government and media is not going to do their job to help America, it's the responsibility of strong men and women, however old they may be, to do it. I'm doing it despite the threats and burdens that come. It must be done. I'm doing it with the help of everyday Americans. That government-paid officials are supposed to do, and the media teams across the country have millions of dollars to do this, yet they don't look into this fraud. They've actually quite literally failed us. If we as Americans not stand up to protect our country, we will lose our country. Fraud is so rampant in the United States, I could go to all 50 states and then uncover millions of dollars in tax dollars being defrauded, wasted and abused. It's my wish while sitting in front of you guys today that you take action to help Americans by cracking down on all of the fraud and to support Americans first. Thank you. People erupted during the Boston Tea Party over such percentages as they believe they were being taxed on representation. Nowadays, we have the representation, but we trust our representatives. And I think we can all agree that fraud is bad, and that fraud is fraud. And I wish the best for our country, and I think that's what needs to be happening is to background all 14